Let me clarify. Shedeur Sanders was the only quarterback to not take first-team reps during yesterday's OTAs, but y'all heard the offensive coordinator, Tommy Rees, right there saying, look, it's anybody's job. Y'all know if we're talking Shedeur Sanders on this show, buckle up, put your seatbelts on, 10-2, eyes on the road, because it might get spicy. Shedeur McCoy, you like Shedeur's chances to start week one?
I didn't at first. Now I do. They say, dang, Shedeur, how you change so fast? What you don't know? Somebody told you something? You know something? Yes, I do. My shady sources.
Shady sources.
Listen, everybody can't have this privilege to know players.
That's true.
Right? Not a lot of bad ones, but a lot of good ones.
True.
A lot of coaches. I know some bad ones, I know some good ones. So, and the whispers over there is basically, hey, man, he looks like the best quarterback here. He's young, you got to learn the experience part. 5th rounder, so we got to make him earn it. But the truth is, he's the best quarterback. And this is not just words from coaches or scouts over there. This is from some players, and I mean key players that actually going to play this year and put some real production up. And I think if you look at Shedeur Sanders, man, it's like all these other players, respectfully, I know what they're going to give me. Joe Flacco, I see what you did last year. I know what you kind of going to give me. Right? Kenny Pickett. I love Kenny Pickett, Pittsburgh guy. I got an idea kind of what he's going to give me. Dylan Gabriel, I mean, he should give me some great reps for the scout team going, getting the defense ready for the season.
Yep.
But Shedeur, we don't know. We don't know what he got for us. You know why? He got a big ceiling. You got a first-round quarterback in the 5th round. Yeah. That's a blessing. So I think they should take advantage of it. Everybody I'm hearing over there talking to, they saying that look like he's the best quarterback. And if he plays well, it should be a no-brainer.
The reason I'm so confused by what Tommy Rees is saying, not confused at all by what Shady's saying, is in the NFL, there are 2 primary Ps, and I hope at home y'all remember these 2 Ps that I would suggest dictate everything in regards to this quarterback competition. The first one is politics. That's the first P that has to do with this conversation. The second one is posturing. Politics and posturing. I will address the first one first. Politics. Even if Shedeur is the most talented quarterback, it might be politics that keep him from starting week one. What might those politics be? Hey, we've invested $4 million into Joe Flacco. Politic number 1. Hey, we traded for Kenny Pickett. Politic number 2. Hey, we drafted Dylan Gabriel in the 3rd round and Shedeur in the 5th round. Politic number 3. Even if Shedeur is better, there are politics that might keep him from starting week one. I'll tell on myself. I was cut by the Philadelphia Eagles after training camp in 2014, which means I was not the backup linebacker. I was the 3rd-string linebacker. I was put on practice squad. This is a true story. Go back and fact check it. After week 1 of 2014, the starting linebacker, either Michael Kendricks or D'Amico Ryans, got hurt. I got elevated to start week 2. But how in the world did I get elevated to start week 2? I should have been elevated, Chase, Shady, James Jones. I should have been elevated to a backup role. I shouldn't have gone from practice squad all the way to starting. What happened to the backup? Why didn't the backup start? Unless the backup got kept over me because of politics. Backup Casey Matthews, played at Oregon. Chip Kelly, head coach at Eagles, formerly coaching at Oregon. Politics. The second thing is posturing. Posturing. Is Tommy Rees saying this because it's true, or is Tommy Rees saying this because he's trying to posture? I think of posturing that occurred during the NFL draft. I'll move quickly so I don't bore you. Number 1, Brian Callahan, head coach for the Tennessee Titans. He said, I think there's a short list between Travis Hunter, Shedeur Sanders, Cam Ward, Abdul Carter for players that are supposed to go number 1 to me. Lies. Travis Hunter, he went number 2, if I'm not mistaken. Abdul Carter, he went number 3. Cam Ward, he went number 1. But Shedeur Sanders, he didn't go till the 5th round, posturing. Let's move forward. Mike Tomlin, he said, there's a toughness that doesn't get talked about enough. There's a competitive spirit that doesn't get talked about enough. The intangibles, that's what's impressive to me. But Mike Tomlin, you need a quarterback. Every day we have a conversation about a quarterback, and you could have drafted Shedeur Sanders all the way through the 5th round. Posturing. Number 3, Jerry Jones, another decision maker. Well, I don't want to make an evaluation. We thought when we evaluated him, Shedeur Sanders, extremely high in the draft. But Jerry Jones, you could have drafted Shedeur Sanders, and you didn't. Posturing, 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 politics and posturing. So it's hard for me to take this seriously when I know that politics exists in the NFL and I know posturing exists in the NFL, and I'm not sure what might be at play in this situation.
Well said. Well said. Well done, brother.
That was
well done.
Very well said.
Well said.
Very well thought out. And look, the one thing that I said to start my answer, and we did not prep it, I said, he's being very politically correct. Tommy Rees did. Hey, all 4 of them can do it. They came out and they said, hey, there is a competition between all 4 of these guys, which I like. I think it's fair to all 4. Why not? If you don't have one starter, You don't know. You know, it could be Shedeur. You have 5 quarterbacks under contract right now. We know Deshaun Watson's probably not going to play this year. But for me, I do not like Shedeur Sanders' chances to start week 1. He hasn't even taken any first-team reps yet. It's June 5th. Now, if we have this conversation in training camp, and after 2 or 3 preseason games, he has clearly had a preseason like Dak Prescott did in 2016, or he's played some stuff on the field, yeah, we can talk about it. And the reason I don't like Shedeur Sanders to start week 1, because it sounds crazy to me, and we did some stat checking, and it is crazy, because history would tell you there's only one quarterback in the history of the NFL to be drafted in the 5th round or later and start week 1 as a rookie. One. Can anyone tell me who it is? Probably not.
Gardner Minshew?
Randy Hedberg in 1977.
Was he a first-round talent?
Good guess, though. I don't know. I have never heard of Randy Hedberg.
Was he a first-round talent?
That's when it was 99 rounds back then.
I know. But for me, it's like, what makes Shedeur so much more special than those guys? Because you got a guy like Tom Brady, Brock Purdy, Tony Romo, Mark Bonnell, Mark Bolger, Matt Hasselbeck, Rich Gann. All these had really, they didn't start their week 1, and that's fine. Just to say I don't like Shedeur Sanders' chances to start week 1, I like his chances to start this year. In fact, I think it's probably the best spot for Shedeur to end up other than Pittsburgh, because there's a great offensive scheme with 2-time Coach of the Year Kevin Stefanski. He has a run game. If you've been listening to their offensive lineman talk, they're going to be a running-first football team. And they should with their quarterbacks that they have. And there's a path to play this year for Shedeur. So I eventually think he should start. Week 1, though, in my opinion, it's out of the question.
So you think eventually he's going to start?
Oh, I think he should, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's some other reasons we'll get into next block on why I think that. But yeah, he should.
Okay.
Where you at, Jay?
Week 1, chance. All right, I circled chance.
Chance.
There's absolutely a chance. Shady sources.
Just told you.
Jay sources.
Oh, you got,
No
I got
player.
JJ sources.
you got JJ
Jay
sources.
sources.
We need some
JJ
graphics up in
sources.
here.
I guess they know shady sources because they say in the same.
Are they the same source?
They might be in the same locker room.
They're not the
building
same
over
source.
there. They ain't
Might be in the same
source.
huddle.
They might be in the same huddle, dog.
Y'all give it too
You know
much
what
now.
I'm saying? But what I am hearing is that the talent is jumping off the screen at people. He's the most talented quarterback out there. He's the most anticipated quarterback out there, throwing the ball with anticipation, getting the ball out of his hands. They say he is learning the playbook extremely well. And if you're throwing the ball with anticipations, that's letting me know that you're grasping the playbook extremely well because you know where you're going with the ball and you're able to get this ball out your hands. There's absolutely a chance he could start week 1, but it comes down to Shedeur. And it comes down to the games. Chase said it a little bit, but it comes down to the preseason games. And I think that's what this competition is going to come down to. Who plays the best in the preseason games? This quarterback competition is totally different than any other quarterback competition we've ever seen. Number 1, it's not no bona fide starter. Number 2, it's not no proven guy in the National Football League in there right now. You can say Joe Flacco's career has been good, but the last 3 years, Joe Flacco has not been good as a proven starter. So this quarterback competition is wide open. And then the kid in the 5th round that was taken, we know he never should have even been in the 5th round. This is not a regular 5th round quarterback. So if Shedeur can get into the preseason and ball out, he is absolutely going to have a chance to start week 1. My coach always said, it is a lot of politics, and it is a lot of the 2 Ps in the National Football League. But one thing you do not deny, and we have never seen denied, is when you turn that tape on and a player balling, you ain't never seen him not on the field.
Be film-based.
You've always seen coaches make ways to put him on the field. Hey, man, I know we paying 2 receivers a whole lot of money. 3 wide this week. That's what we're going, because we got to put him on the field. If Shedeur shows he's like that, they're going to have to play him. They're going to have to start him week 1. We've seen it with Dak. We've seen it with Rush. Just too much to keep on covering your eyes and saying we got this quarterback because he's balling. So if he handles his business on the field, he's going to put a lot of pressure on him to start week 1.
Even if he does have a Dak like preseason, like we were talking about, right, and shows and proves, I just don't know if it's enough to jump a 3rd-round pick and then to jump a 1st-round pick and a Super Bowl MVP in one preseason.
But it also depends on how they play.
Yeah, I mean,
That was going to be my question.
well,
like, to
not
y'all.
with Flacco, because he even said we're not going to play Flacco a lot. We know what he
Flacco's
is.
gone.
Question for y'all is this: Does it have to be clear? Right? Like, you know what it is sometimes they say you got to be twice as good to be equal. Sometimes you have to make it abundantly clear that it's not a quarterback competition to get the job, especially, James, I think your coach told you this. You shared this story before. You went up to your coach, said, hey, coach, what I got to do to get on this field? I'm better than some of these guys. He said, don't make it close.
Yeah.
Don't make it close. At the point in which Shedeur is the fourth person on the depth chart right now, is it not just that Shedeur has to be better than all those guys, of which we would all suggest that he has the potential to be if he's not already, some up here would suggest. Does he have to make it clear that he's significantly better than all those guys?
Absolutely.
I think so, without a doubt. I mean, that's exactly what I was saying with James. It's like, regardless of what you think about Kenny Pickett or Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett was a first-round pick. He's had some good games. You sort of know what you're getting out of him, but Stefanski's never had him. They traded for him for a reason. And then you look at Joe Flacco, while I agree with James, he hasn't played well. There's been some spurts where you're like, okay, like he could do it. And then you have Dylan Gabriel, who they drafted, and politics or not, they drafted him before Shedeur. And then you have Shedeur. So Shedeur, in my opinion, that's why I just think it's just so unrealistic for me personally, for a guy, whoever it is, to jump those odds in 4 weeks of preseason play, when in reality, you're not really playing against the ones in preseason. You're playing against the 2s and 3s, so you better look good, right? And that's sort of what I dealt with when I was a backup. They were like, Chase, you're not playing against 1s. Yeah, but I'm torching these 2s and 3s. So, like, give me, you know what I mean? It's like, so that's how it has to sort of feel and look.
Yeah. It can't be close, because just like my coach told me, if it's close, you're not starting. Period. So if Shedeur's the 5th round pick, we know his back's against the wall, man. He got an uphill climb. So if it's close, they're going to say, well, we took him in the 3rd round, so we're going to toss him in there first. But we traded for him, and he's a first round. We're going to toss him in there. But he is a vet. So they're going to come up with any and every excuse if it's close. Because if it's close, that means it's going to be some people like Shady, like, I think Shedeur won it. I think Dylan Gabriel won it. No. Shedeur the best one out there, and if you turn on the preseason, we all see it. It can't be close.
I just want to, because I'm listening, right? You're telling me that if it's a close race between an old veteran player, been there for years.
But Pickett ain't old. I'm more on Pickett. I'm not Flacco.
Okay, hold on. I'm just trying to get, because I just want to know what we talking about. Because y'all got him at the 4th, he's the 4th depth chart, right? He's the 4th guy.
That's what they got him.
All I'm saying is, so you tell me if this race is close, all the quarterbacks look close, and you got a veteran dude that's been there for years, Flacco.
I think it's going to be the
Kenny
odd man
Pickett,
out.
he's been okay, right?
I think that's
and then the 5th round draft pick, Shedeur. Why wouldn't I start? If it's so close, why wouldn't I start him? Who?
And a 3rd round pick.
Okay, we'll throw him in there.
Well, he's in the quarterback room. Don't disrespect.
I'm not, but we'll throw him in there. We'll throw him in there because he got a jersey. Okay, cool. So him in there, right? So if all these are so close, why wouldn't I start Shedeur? Because my thing is, Flacco, his time is numbered. Eventually, he's going to retire.
He's
okay.
the odd man out.
And then Kenny Pickett, if you're the 1st rounder and you just not there, and then you're so close to the 5th rounder, why wouldn't I start the rookie and let him gradually grow and learn and all that on the run?
Because I think if it's close and if you start a rookie, it's going to be the 3rd round rookie you're going to start. That's the politics of it,
bro, can we just talk
and not only that, another politics of it is you got a dude you traded for that was a 1st rounder. You're going to give him an opportunity to play if it's...
When you say politics,
yeah,
the fans want Shedeur to start.
Some fans
if he
do.
balls out, yeah.
Come on, man. They got what are we talking? He got the #1 jersey set out all the rookies, correct? He went 5th round. Yeah. You listening to me this morning? He went 5th round. He has the #1 draft jersey selling out all the draft picks. So politics, we talk politics, right? We talk about ownerships and all that. We talk about money now. So if it's so close, why wouldn't I start a young rookie that he's so close to these vets and 1st rounders? Eventually he's gonna get better, right? And his floor, he's close to y'all. That's 1. 2 is the politics part of it. If I'm the owner, he don't even know.
So
why wouldn't he start him?
There's 2 trains of thought to Shady's point. I have 3 things written down. Oftentimes, who dictates the starting quarterback, who dictates the starter, but primarily a quarterback, it's one of 3 people. Either the head coach, either the general manager, or the owner.
Yeah.
It's one of those 3 people.
Combination, maybe?
Yeah, exactly right, combination. To Shady's point, if the owner is in control, I would suggest if it's close, throw Shedeur out there. Hey, we're not going to win a ton of games. Let's get more excitement. Let's get more buzz. Let's sell more jerseys. If the general manager is calling a shot, Gabriel's out there.
Yeah,
because I drafted Gabriel in the 3rd round. Y'all not about to make me look stupid. You're not about to start a 5th round pick over a 3rd round pick. Then why they're going to be asking, why'd you draft him in the 3rd round and draft him in the 5th round?
Why'd you waste a draft pick?
Why'd you waste a draft pick?
Yeah.
So if it's the owner making the decision, I'm with Shady wholeheartedly. Politics. In America, we got several political parties, so let's talk about the political parties in football. One political party, if it's the owner, is going to be Shedeur, like Shady's saying.
Yeah.
If it's the general manager, it's going to be Dylan Gabriel or Kenny Pickett, to James Jones's point, because I traded a 5th round pick for Pickett, or I drafted Gabriel. If it's the head coach, I believe it will be the best player or or Flacco, the one he trusts the most. The one he's like, hey, I just need to go win a game. Flacco's helped me win games. Flacco's made me coach of the year. I have a winning record with Flacco. It's going to be Flacco, though. I'm not disregarding Shady's point by any stretch of the imagination. There's several political parties in football like there are in life. I'm with James, however. I don't think it can be close.
Really quick, though. So let's say, because this is going to be a tough decision for the Browns, especially if Shedeur makes it hard on them and he plays well. Let's say all three of them in the room.
Ooh. All three what? Oh, all three in the head coach, GM owner?
Like we here at this table. Hey, fellas, what should we do? We all watch the preseason. It's a close race.
I would go Shedeur.
Go Shedeur.
But the most hyped up player in the room, the fans' favorite, right? And the youngest guy in the room. Why, if we're all so close, why wouldn't I start him? You see what I'm saying?
And that's the thing. I don't think it's going to be that close. The sample size is too small of a run for Shedeur to show what he has and to get a fair shot. He's already starting from behind. I think that's what we're like. That's just the truth. You can say that, you know, the jersey sales are great and the fans want. I agree with all that, but it's just too small of a sample size. Guys, there's been one quarterback in NFL history, 5th round or later, to start week 1. It just doesn't happen because there's too much. There's not enough time.
There's a much just in the way.
You know what I mean?
I'm confused though, because on one hand, you come off like, yo, he's going to be the last. You basically say he's going to be the last guy in the depth chart. That's what you feel for real. You feel like that, right?
I think it would be really good if he was able to move up to the second option. That would be outstanding in week. What we're talking.
I'm gonna let it go because I'm just confused.
The question here is week 1. What are you confused about?
Because like on one end, it's like you talk as if, yo, he might have a shot. Then the other time we talked to you, it's like, well, he only have a shot.
Shady,
so I'm trying to figure out which.
And I'm going to tell you, the question here is week 1. I don't think he has any possible way of starting week 1. Where I think he has a chance is let the season progress. Let him get more practice reps. Understand that if you're not going to win any games with these other guys, throw him out there week 10 or week 11. See what he has. The Browns have 2 first-round picks next year. They're clearly eyeing a quarterback. That's clearly why they traded the pick to the Jacksonville Jaguars, to have a lot of picks for that. And then you do that. I don't think he's even remotely close to being ready right now. The question says week 1.
And that's cool, but what if he's the best quarterback?
Because that's easy.
But I'm saying is that every reports that I know, coaches and players include that play on the same squad, right? James, you got to say,
no doubt.
If he's the best quarterback,
if he shows he's the best, it's not a conversation.
But I say, let's say if it's close. If it's close,
that's when the conversation comes in, Shady.
But think about this though. How are you guys so confident to have these other guys start? If you're close to a 5th round,
I'm not saying
nobody's confident.
Nobody's confident.
Nobody's confident up here. Nobody up here confident. None of us really know.
They don't even know.
But even week 1, what I'm saying is, how in the hell my starting quarterback that I'm gonna go out there and roll with is having a close battle with a 5th round draft pick?
But if
y'all, real quick, this is what I'm saying. Do you feel comfortable with? I'm gonna make you the starter, but you're having a super close competition battle with my 5th rounder.
But the thing is, Shady, is they don't have a starter. But they have people in mind on the depth chart of who they think is going to go out there
I just
first.
feel like if I'm out there playing, right?
Yeah.
It ain't gonna be no question if I'm gonna start. If I gotta be if I'm going a close battle with a 5th round running back.
So then let me ask you. But let me ask you.
You're talking different stuff though, because the type of player you were. We're talking these dudes.
And that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, the 5th rounder ain't a regular 5th rounder. Because we won't even have this conversation. My man Chase has talked about all these stats for all these years, all these old people back in the day. It's never been done one time, right? So what I'm saying is, a 5th rounder really is a 1st rounder. You got to draft him because y'all want to prove a point to him. If you got a 1st round draft pick that you got in the 5th, why won't you let him?
Why do we keep saying he's a first round draft pick?
But here's my question though, and it's for everybody. It's if Shedeur currently didn't take a 1st-team rep.
That means he's behind the 8 ball already.
Right.
On the depth chart, not by the play.
Sure, by the depth chart. How can he prove, like, the tough part for me, 2-5, is going to be how he's going to be able to prove it. Because if he goes in the 3-4 preseason games and he's whooping up the 3rd and 4th stringers, he's still whooping up 3rd and 4th stringers. I led the preseason in tackles, Matt, correct me if I'm wrong, I led the preseason in tackles in 2013. But I was doing it against 2nd and 3rd stringers. Yeah. So at the end of the day, Acho led the whole preseason. Everybody in all the preseason in the NFL led in tackles. But Acho, you ain't do it against starters. Acho, I didn't have enough time to prove, like, oh, I could do this against starters too.
But this is when the situation is hard, because now that is when you have to kick in how popular Shedeur is.
Yes. Yes.
If Emmanuel Acho's jersey was the #1 selling Philadelphia
Put him out
Eagles
there.
jersey,
You put him out there.
immediately. All the trackers and all that would be Emmanuel Acho, 10 tackles this game, 10 tackles. He got the most tackles in the preseason. You would have trotted out there if you were Shedeur. So that's the difference in this
But now
thing.
let's
That's
talk
why I
about
said
the
for
Eagles.
all,
I
he's
don't
supposed to
think
go
it
out
matters
And he
there.
was playing behind D'Amico Ryans. You wasn't starting no matter how good you played.
Yes.
These guys, look at us in this room. You feel you around a whole bunch of backups. It's like we having a whole starter conversation with a whole bunch of backups. It's like he could start.
Agreed.
Ain't nobody in front of him that's that good.
This is where I think the politics
This is
come in, because
crazy.
the fifth rounder, he has to prove it every step of the way to start. And I don't think there's a big enough sample size for him to prove enough to start week 1.
But I don't think
You know, if he was a third or second round pick, he'd be like, oh, if it's close, he's starting. But he's fourth right now, whether we like it or not.
But that's why you don't see it how we see it. That's all right, because you don't think he's going to make the team for real. Right? You don't think he's going to make the team. So you can't think he's going to
Are you
start.
putting words in my mouth?
You think he makes the team?
Yes, he makes the team. Why
If
would you?
Shedeur balls
When
in
have
the
I ever
pres-
said that?
So we talked about this. You don't think
We
he's
all talked about it at first, and stuff has changed.
Same
And I've been
thing.
on this for 3 weeks, Shady. Don't put words in my mouth, dog.
So who's going to get cut? In your
Probably one of
opinion?
the vets. I don't think they keep both vets.
All right. Okay. Well, listen. I'm happy we agreed. Now you on this part. I'm cool with that. I want all my brothers to come over here on this side.
I'm not on that side because you think he's starting week 1. I'm on this side. I never said he was going to
I
start.
do
But you
disagree.
thought he was going to get cut.
James,
I
get in
do
here.
disagree with y'all about going up against the threes and stuff, though.
Elaborate.
Yeah,
Because no starters really play in the preseason. Who was Russ going against? The 2s and the 3s. Who was that going against? Starters don't play in the preseason. The 2s and the 3s when he was out there. Them dudes balled. And their name was not Shedeur
Dak
Sanders.
won it because of injury.
If he goes out there and he balls whoever he going against, the 2s, the 3s, the 4s, the 5s, he is going to put pressure on them boys to start.
Pressure's, yeah.
You
Pressure's
cannot
different.
sit here and
But
say.
But you snuck, hold on,
pressure's
but
different.
you snuck that word pressure in
Okay,
there.
so take pressure out. He's going to start. You're not going to watch this young fella ball.
Beat down some 4s and start.
But what I'm saying is,
down some cats from Divine
you're not going to
University.
watch him. You're not going to watch him
Divine.
ball harder than these other quarterbacks, and then you're going to come in and say it was against the 2s and the 3s, and that's who you gave him reps against. It is going to be hard for you to tell this Brown fan base and this organization that, there's
also-
2s and the 3s Shedeur was going against.
There's also 3
And he balled.
games. There's also 3 games.
I understand what
James.
you're saying.
And if Shedeur legitimately plays 4 quarters in 3 games, that will be a lot of reps for him because they got to get Dylan. They got to get Kenny or Joe ready.
Here's what I think is best case scenario, because you know how it goes. He'll play against the 2s and the 3s, but then he'll also get reps against the 1s. You feel me? In preseason game 2 or game 3, best case scenario. Because what it was for
all
me is
3 of
like,
them are on
I was
NFL.
playing against 2s and 3s, but then I would also be, hey, Acho, go out there, hey, you're starting this game against the Colts. And it's Andrew Luck out there. It's they had their other star, maybe
what the Browns
Garcon
have
was there
told
at
us
the
he's gonna
time.
get 1.
Correct. And you go get a couple reps, quarter or 2 against the 1s, and then
And you're going to
Make
get
it
10
shake.
throws. Is 10 throws enough to, like, that's what I'm saying. I just don't think there's a sample size for week 1.
we will
got
see.
3 games.
We will.
He gonna-
Here's what I do know that I don't know at all. What up, YouTube family? Welcome to the facility. Thanks for watching, and you better be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to get more highlights from the show and all of our exclusive content.